innovate is very few people are able to do it. Very few people are able to take the risk. Very few people are able to walk away from a daily, month to month, week to week, day to day paycheck and be able to innovate and put their ideas and all these thoughts and persevere and live below their means until the idea comes on thing. But again, it's you have to take a call today, whether your idea is worthwhile, whether you are worthwhile to pursue that idea, to have a fantastic life in the future, and innovate and build a great company in the future, or build a really, really strong company for you in the future, or are you ready to accept how you are today? I'm not saying one is wrong and one is right. It just depends on your own personal thing. I personally was terrified initially when I had to innovate or when I had to do these things. There were two reasons. I'll give you my personal example why two reasons I was terrified. A lot of people would assume that for me innovation is very easy because I had a very solid startup when I started my career. US economy was bankrupt at the time, so it was not worthwhile for me to stay and do a job here. So I chose to join my father's business at the time, even though I really did not want to start at the time. I had a job offer from Accenture, but no visa. So I had to leave because I was forced to leave, which was fine. When I look back now, I was very upset at the time, but I'm fine with it now. However, I was terrified to innovate initially. Why? Because I have to fill essentially the shoes of a man who invented packaging in India and has more than 10,000 patents to his name. So the challenge to me was unbelievable, and I was terrified initially. However, I overcame that with my own method. My own method was that I saw a couple of ideas and I said, how can I make these ideas work? I'd already started my first company in college, so I'd already taken that risk. And in general, I'm a very, I take a lot of risks. I'm not risk averse at all. I take a lot of risks. So maybe it was a little bit easier for me. But everybody has to get over that fear. Once you get over that fear and you start working, and then you will not look back. Then the fear will go away. So it's only an initial step. It's only an initial step that you have to overcome. Once you overcome it once, then there is no more longer a fear of innovation. Does that make sense?
Also, a question. But sometimes, even in the class, we are trying to innovate individually, not a group work. So what about at the company that we are building? They maybe, for example, at Apple, maybe just not only just a person is invent the iPad or iPod, but it is difficult to innovate together more than one person or two people.
Right,
so,
right.
So what about that?
In that, to be honest with you, group dynamics, two things are very important in a group dynamic, when you're innovating in a group dynamic. First and foremost important thing is that you choose the right leader. Now, it sounds like a bit funny that you choose the right leader, but if the right person is leading the innovative team, or even class discussions, when you have, he or she will be able to sort out who has the right skills and who has the wrong skills for a particular job. For example, you're not going to give the job of presenting an idea to a person who's shy of presenting. At the same time, you're not going to give the job of making a technological innovation to a person who does not have that kind of technological background. So choosing the right leader is very important in a group setting, because he or she will be able to sort out who deserves to do what in the class. Not who deserves to do what, who's the right person for what. And second of all, you have to have, it's a difficult thing to make you understand, but you all have to essentially, when you're working in a group dynamic, it's very important that you have some similarities and some differences, So you don't have two people that hate each other, because that's going to bring negative dynamics to the group and it's going to be unproductive. At the same time, you don't have two people who are too much alike each other, because those two strong opinions are going to clash. So in a group dynamic, you have to find this kind of some kind of balance, how to make it most productive. That's why most of groups fail, because they elect the wrong leader, and they're not able to find this dynamic. It's tough to find it. However, if you have a good leader, it's his or her job to find the group dynamics.